was 15, I got a follow request from an account that a bunch of my friends were following at the time. I accepted and then went about my day. The next time I posted to my story, I got a reply from them. They called me cute. I don't remember what I responded with, but the next text from them was a joke about hiding a porn folder on my PC. I don't know why I kept engaging. Maybe I liked the attention they gave me. Or maybe I was looking for it. After a few months of talking and them bringing the conversation to sex and me constantly resisting, they asked if I wanted to see them naked. I said no. I said I had a girlfriend and I said it wasn't right. They said it wasn't sexual and that it was like looking at each other in the locker room. They ended up receiving photos from me. The guilt racked my brain for months. The gravity of what I did set in, and I came crawling to them to tell me that I was okay and that I didn't do anything wrong. It didn't matter. From then, I was set on an extremely dark and destructive path. I would say things to my friends and I wouldn't know why. I initiated aspects in relationships that I never would have normally. I felt extreme, suffocating guilt over it. I was miserable and I was in hell. No adults could really help me. Few understood my situation, fewer understood the consequences of it, and even fewer knew how to actually help me. I messed up a couple of friendships due to my hypersexuality, and I became utterly terrified of myself. During this time, someone made up rumors that I'd almost sexually assaulted someone. Later, I would find out from the supposed victim that I hadn't sexually assaulted them at all, and that the accuser was simply spreading these things as a vendetta against me. At the time, not knowing myself, I believed them. In order to save everyone from me, I shut myself off completely. I turned to screens again. I would spend hours a day on Reddit and Twitter, reading pages on celebrities who were accused of sexual misconduct or assault, comparing myself to these monsters. It was a form of self-harm, punishing myself with the very thing that caused my trauma. I would scroll for miles on any social media that I could find, burning away weeks, which turned to months, which turned to years. It was only after involuntary psychiatric inpatient hospitalization that I was able to begin my path of healing. Of course, it wasn't that simple. I still struggled with screen addiction afterwards, despite hating myself for engaging with the medium, which was the source of my trauma. I stopped caring though. It was easy. It was the easiest way to stop feeling. I liked it. I was really good at it too. I was an addict, plain and simple. When I was in the hospital, I would attend tri-weekly group therapy sessions. I got to see other people's struggles, fears, resentments, and hopes. Nearing the end of our session, our therapist took a long pause and told us about his struggle with alcohol. He said that he was always and forever going to be an addict, and that treating himself like this was the only solution, and if he did otherwise, he would fall back into his habit. The session ended. At the time, I found it to be devastatingly depressing. In no earth did I want to be branded with these labels and to treat myself like a prisoner to my vices. I couldn't end up like him. The solution was simple. Don't engage in any risk-taking behavior and reap the benefits. I was so naive. Of course, a child would think that they were exempt from labeling theory because they didn't partake in the vice explained to them. It's like a baby thinking that you disappear when you cover your face. I was always and forever had been an addict. I have an addictive personality. It was there when I'd sneak my phone out of the drawers my parents hid them in to watch YouTube videos until 2 a.m. It was there when I'd text the groomer even when I knew that something was wrong. And it's always there when I look at a screen. It makes you weak, depressed, and sloppy. It knows what buttons to push to get you to do nothing. It'll make you fear hope and then fear for a future. It will do all this to help me because I am sad and miserable and this addiction is my only hope. Addiction stems from trauma and a lack of dealing with it. I'm not a person, I'm an actor masquerading as a man of action. Detoxing has been hell. I downloaded this app called OneSec on my phone that would show a tally of how many times I opened Instagram before giving me 10 seconds to rethink my choice of whether I wanted to proceed. I think I hit like 64 in one day before I deleted it. Since then, I've made minimal progress. I changed the password on my Reddit just to log back in with Google. I uninstalled all social media apps just to use their website counterparts on Safari. I waste around 3 hours a day on Twitter. It's the first site I open when I wake up, and it's the last one I use when I go to sleep. As soon as I feel a tinge of uncomfort or boredom, my fingers type x.com before I can even stop to think. I need it enough to be enough. I deleted my Instagram account last year to little fanfare, and since then I've become addicted to YouTube fucking shorts. Yeah. I think I've seen all of Young Sheldon, The Green Book, Superman and Lois, Arrow, The Flash, Something the Lord Made, The Middle, Malcolm in the Middle, the list just goes fucking on. All because I deleted Instagram Reels and I needed something to fill the void. I finally installed an app called Focus on my phone, which acts as sort of a brick In order to access Twitter, Reddit, or Instagram, I need to go on my computer and open a PNG of a QR code, which I've set to be an essay on addiction to self-sabotage. I've been free of social media on my phone since November of last year, but it hasn't stopped me from accessing it on my computer. This whole thing is just making me go insane. It's not just the time wasting, the isolation, procrastination, the lack of agency, the degeneracy, the damage to my working memory and sleep cycle, or the gaps in my memory. It's the utter lack of respect I have for myself. It's like it's taunting me. The game Cyberpunk 2077, Cyberpsychosis is a dissociative disorder caused by an overload of cybernetic augmentations. Exploring the game as an onset of pre-existing psychotic tendencies, addiction to cyberware can start with distancing from friends and family, relation to technology more than people, and after realizing that machines are better than people, develop contempt and subsequently violent tendencies. Growing up, no one in this world knew me better than my Samsung Galaxy. That's changed. The only scenario in which technology is an addition to my life is if it isn't the standard, and it's not. I miss when technology was playful, inventive, and fresh. I grew up with Frutiger era. I'd get lost in the bounding fields and blue skies of my family computer in India, and I'd collect cool flip phones just to open them. Now, it's different. It's war. I can feel the calling of cyberpsychosis. No one could understand my tears, but my Chromebook could give me what I needed. To conquer my social media use, I need to treat myself like an addict. For addicts, small changes usually mean nothing. They're done impulsively with no bearing on the mentality. The actor benefits from this because while you are making minimal changes to your life, the actor will continue to live their life how they are living it. The only course of action is the plunge and the whole-scale transition of my life. I need to avoid behavioral cues at all costs because my brain is simply a feedback loop of habits and impulses. Remove the impulse and I'll be able to conquer my habit. The actor will beg, scream, and tear apart what they can. They'll flood my brain with memories of failure and hardship to induce negative feelings, to try to reinstate the impulse. By being hyper aware of each impulse to do nothing and their motivation, this will slowly begin to unravel the cycle. This is also why I live on autopilot for most of my day. My brain is so accustomed to hating myself that I feel the need to numb myself from feeling the full extent of my emotions. Awareness and willpower go hand in hand. Scientifically, they're actually the same thing. The only way to kill the actor is by putting myself in harm's way. Cigarette companies will try to defend the creation of their product by saying that no one forces you to smoke. Disregarding the extremely addictive nature of nicotine, I will argue that this can be true, because no one is actually forcing you to smoke cigarettes. It's simply your choice to keep smoking them. In the case of digital technology, having no online presence can be devastatingly isolating, inconvenient, and straight up impossible. I don't care though. I need to have my life back. It's my mission to de-Google. Here are my main objectives for the next couple of days, and here's what I've brainstormed so far. Download the offline pirated Microsoft versions of Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. I know it's one tech giant to another, but this way I can still use these products without contributing to the data collection. Download Tor and switch to DuckDuckGo and install an extension to block all social media for the time being. My brain will say I'm being irrational and that I have bookmarks for inspirations, but I don't need bookmarks for learning the basics. Use physical textbooks and office hours to clear any questions for my classes instead of using AI. Buy a hard drive. This one's going to be the biggest one. I'm working a shift tomorrow just to be able to afford the really cool orange case one. Overall, those are my plans for now. It's going to be difficult. So difficult. But this is the only thing I plan on establishing for the next week. I just moved back into my apartment on campus and my classes from hell start in 2 days. But I am very excited for this new year regardless. That's all. Thank you for your time.